ahead and get you to Cincinnati for an opening day, my brother. We gotta go ahead and get you
it.
down.
It was lit out there. I didn't know y'all got down like that. I seen y'all videos.
It's a holiday, man. It's a holiday
like that.
It's a holiday in the
opening
city,
day.
man.
Braves opening day Friday, but it don't look like what y'all had going. I would much rather go to the Reds opening day.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother
I'll
shade.
never watch a game, but I'm gonna be at that opening day.
That's what Rich said. He put me on last week.
Yeah, you be saying like, and that's what's crazy though. It's people who ain't never even thought about baseball ain't gonna put on no Reds gear for the rest of the year, but the opening day, they made sure they go. They get it. Fire. They get the Reds gear. Everybody, the whole city just kind of shut down, man. And I know me and Portia both moved away, even though I'm still in the state. I'm still back and forth to Cincinnati a lot more than she is, but it's hard to explain how like black it was outside. Like niggas was outside.
I saw it.
Outside. And it wasn't no drama either.
Wasn't no drama. Everything was cool. But it's the demographics, if you know Cincinnati, where everything's been rebuilt and gentrified over the Rhine. It's now called OTR, but there's still some stuff like some nice restaurants. There's a nice Italian restaurant called Pep and Dolores, but it's right in the middle of all them action. And I saw them white folks staring at that window looking like, what the fuck is going on out here? Like everybody knows it's opening day, but it was like that like it was over capacity, right?
Yeah,
shout out to Treehouse,
it was lit.
Well, never mind, my fault, Portia.
What?
I said shout out to Treehouse because that's where everybody used to go after the game, but never mind. That's a whole nother.
I ain't gonna shut a black man down today.
That's why I stopped. I was like, you know what? My bad.
Ooh-wee.
That sounds like a story.
Nah, man.
It's not.
We won't get into it. Yeah, we won't even. With that being said, you hear the voices. Welcome back to another week in the books. Book 2, chapter 24. This is Rich here with the good brother Spike Lou.
What up, though?
If you heard the voice, we are not alone. We're starting a new segment, right? We've already, obviously, Portia's not new to the show, host of the Frequency Podcast, but we were having some conversation. We was like, man, Portia needs her own kind of day, her own segment, something on the routine. So we decided, man, first Fridays with Portia, first Fridays with P. Renee. Yeah, man. We just obviously want to just talk the shit with Portia and also get into some thought-provoking conversation. She has a conversation or a topic that she'd like to discuss, and it kind of aligned with what me and Spike have been going through, or not going through, but kind of teasing and planning anyway. But first and foremost,
she got some comments.
I was just about to say that, but before we even get into that, how are you doing, Portia? How are you feeling?
I am great. I just came back home, as we was talking about, so I'm rejuvenated. I'm refreshed. Back at the gym. Back to normal adulting. Working gym. That's it.
Yeah, man. Don't it hit different when you keep changing these titles on YouTube. When you go somewhere, you take that vacation, and then just that realization you gotta go back to work. I don't even know how to describe
I took a day off
feeling.
before I went in. You always got to take a day off.
Yeah, get the day to yourself.
You land in.
Facts.
But I had a good time. I realized why I miss Cincinnati, but I also realized why I would never move back. Like it's a 48 to 72 hour gig for me.
All right, let's talk about that.
Huh?
Is your family there?
Yeah, my parents, yeah. Okay. Parents, brother, granny, yeah.
That'd be the only reason that I even consider when I go back home, because I just don't see them as much as I like. But my whole family there, like cousins, aunties, you know what I'm saying? So that'd be the only thing that make me be like, you know what, I could come back. So,
well, let me ask. I'm curious to say that, knowing Portia and myself are both from the same city, so now, what do you mean when you say that? Like, is it because I moved to Cleveland, but maybe because it's Cleveland that I'm like, I would go back to Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Because in a heartbeat compared to Cleveland. But is it because you went to Dallas, or do you feel like no matter where because you lived in other cities?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I went to school in Toledo. I lived in Atlanta for a while. Now I'm in Dallas. I don't think it's because of Dallas, because Dallas isn't like, oh my God, you got to move to Dallas. It's not one of those. But it was like visiting. I still had obligations to people. Like, I think it's the freedom that I have not living in Cincinnati. And When I went, Rich, I was positive vibes. We had a great time. And niggas still found a way to try to get me out of character. I don't understand. I don't understand. I think I do better when I don't know people.
Mm.
Can't hear you.
You don't mute, Rich. So you do better when you don't know people, like when you think, because I felt like that in Atlanta too, but then I missed, because I don't really like go out like it. I don't go out when I go home. I ain't doing no clubbing and no shit like that. But
yeah,
going out eating with friends, chilling, like I was talking about the last episode, I met up with my homegirls and homeboys from high school, and just being around people that know you sometimes is refreshing. I've missed
it's refreshing that you don't have to explain yourself to people.
Facts.
But like, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick little story, because I know he be stalking. So I hope you hear this, and I hope you hear it clear. So I was it was opening day. It was packed, like Rich said. I run into a guy from church. Okay. It's love, it's good. How you been? Haven't seen you in so long. Heard you married now. Just doing the normal catch-up thing. He buy a shot, everything good. He happens to know a good friend of mine who actually lives in Dallas too. She was there. She calls me trying to calm herself down, because as soon as they left, homeboy was lying on me. Like, yeah, she froze when I saw her. I could have her if I wanted her. And it's like, don't disrespect me and my reputation, fam. Even if
he weren't
married, I'm never freezing for you. And
no
then
butterflies.
Only to get on the plane for somebody to call and tell me about his stepbrother too. So I had to block people. It just gets real weird in Cincinnati sometimes. Like, it get real lame sometimes. I was happy to be away.
There weren't no butterflies when you saw him?
No. Not at all. And then it was just the nerve. Like, why did you have to lie?
Oh, no, it was ego. We talked about that ego thing. That's what it was.
Y'all weird. Never.
Yeah,
Why do you think that was? Why do you think he decided just to? I guess Spike just said it, ego, right? More than anything.
I really don't even know where it came from.
Yeah, why would that be necessary? That's kind of wild.
I don't know. Like, my grandma made me go to homecoming with him when we were in high school, because she was cool with his grandma. And I knew he like always liked me, but to make it seem like I liked you,
you froze. You ain't just like him. You froze.
Froze. He could have me if he wanted me. Type. Like, I've never given off that perception. Like, nothing about me says that.
What's that?
He been thinking
if I wanted, I could take you from your man.
You could never. I don't know. It just got real weird.
It wasn't no kind of the hug went extra long or nothing like that.
No, it was the church hug. The booty out. Hey, how you been?
Oh,
I had to like squint to see who he was, because he had gained some weight. So if anything, it was the squint.
She said that's what I froze. Nigga,
that's what the pause was. That's the pause.
That's what it was.
I didn't even remember you, nigga. What are you talking about?
But I could have got on the phone and cussed him out, and I didn't, and I'm proud of myself.
Goodness.
I will say this. Go ahead, Spike.
I was gonna say, I wanted you to tell his wife that. Yes.
I'm sure not. Fucking ass.
You know how to do, man. Shout out to Mr. Make It Happen.
Oh man, that's hilarious. He back.
I will say this. I played, so I learned how to play Phase 10 for the first time, man. So after I don't even know what we were doing. It was opening day. The night was ending. Some people was just coming out the house. It was time for us to go in. Ended up going back to play Phase 10. You ever play Phase 10 Spike card game?
Well, no, what's that?
I don't even know how to describe it. Go ahead, Portia.
It's like, you ever played Tunk?
Yeah, I know what Tunk is.
It's like Tunk on crack. So you get like, it's 10 phases. You have 10 phases, and like each phase you have to do like 2 sets of 4, or a set of 4 and a run of 4. Like, it gives you different combinations. And if you don't hit your phase before the game ends, then you're stuck on that phase while people keep going. Rich was having a hell of a time.
I was cooking. I was cooking for the first 3 phases, and we got to that 4th phase. That shit was slow. I ain't even hit it. It's one of them games where if you play it too long without getting to the next phase, like, man, fuck this. I'm out, man. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, everybody quit by the
close.
Yeah.
I was one card away like 5 times.
How you win? You get to 10 phase? Phase 10 is
how you person who gets to phase 10, yeah.
You
need to try it. You gotta have time though.
Yeah.
You gotta have time, but it's a perfect game just to shoot the shit, catch up, talk your shit, have some music, have your drink, have your smoke, whatever your vice is, the whole 9.
Where y'all rank y'all spade games? What letter grade y'all give y'all spade games?
I'm a good
What's higher than A+?
Get the fuck.
Look, that's how I always when you ask a nigga, do they know how to play spades? If they don't be like, I'm the shit, then I don't even want to play. I don't want you to be my partner. Everybody I ask, the motherfucker to be like, man, I'm all right, or I know how to play, or like, nah, nigga.
I'm a A, just because I like to be underestimated, because I'm a starter. Do y'all lead with spades? Do y'all play like that?
I play however. Yeah. It's whatever the house rules are. Let's do it. Whatever the house rules are.
Joker, deuce, ace, or ace high.
I prefer Joker, deuce, ace, but I'll play ace high.
Thank you, a real player.
Yeah, I prefer Joker, deuce, ace.
That's that Midwest shit. What y'all talking about? The
Joker, how do you play? Ace high?
We play Joker high. You
take the twos out. Joker, aces.
Yeah, little Joker, big Joker, then aces. You take the twos out.
So you don't play deuce of spades. Deuce of spades ain't got no clout.
Yeah, you got to know how to count when you do that Joker, deuce.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Ain't nothing like a good spades game. Ain't nothing like a good spades game.
I'm missing that in my life. I need. Yeah, we should have got.
I need to get that. That's facts.
Damn. Now that you say that, like a good game night playing spades, talking to shit. Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope, man.
We missing the kickbacks.
Facts.
Yeah, the kickbacks are definitely missing. But Portia, I know you got some shit to say about our last episode, so we might as well go into it.
Chapter I have 23. Shit to say about the last 2.
Okay, so chapter 22 and chapter 23. Go ahead, man. Let's have some conversation. What were your thoughts?
Wait. To set the table, me and Rich got text from Portia.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a voice note, but a nigga. I understood the tone, even with it just me reading it. I knew the tone. She was like, "It's the chick y'all said was bad." That's all she said. No exclamation points, no emojis,
no
question. I was so disappointed.
And
y'all really hyped her up. I want y'all to know this.
I was like, man, that ain't. My response was, that ain't the picture I saw.
Same thing. That ain't, you got the wrong picture. And she was so cold. She's like, oh, I don't need to see nothing else. I'm good.
Yeah, man. Portia like that. She'll just let it go. Okay. Oh, word, bet. All right.
She was like, oh, no, you don't got to send me no other picture. I see what I need to see.
But I ain't gonna hold you. I feel Portia, because when you got to start doing like, nah, that ain't a good one. Go to this one. Keep sliding.
Yeah, if you got to
explain. That's her point, right? Like, you shouldn't have to do all that.
I had to start looking for a picture. I was like, wait, let me find the one that I saw, though. Let me find
y'all really hyped her up. I'm telling you. I was
think we was saying she looked too good to be doing what she was doing. That's all.
Now, what
trying
did
to put
do?
a nigga out like that.
I don't know. She's just talking about like she was just blowing up the spot. She was just blowing.
Yeah, she's just blowing up the spot.
So she was wrong for that.
The nigga wasn't even really flirting with her though.
You believe
it was
that?
Just like that. He was just the emojis might have been a little much. I'll say that. You can't put the fire emojis and the hard eyes emojis just like on a random chick. But as far as the conversation, he was just like, come to the restaurant. Let me get in my bag.
Then that's cool with you. Okay, so I got questions and comments. I definitely want to talk about the inbox thing.
Okay.
Because I don't understand how you didn't think that was going too far.
She messaged him though. No. He said I didn't know you followed me. Yeah, she commented on something. He was like, I didn't know you followed me. And he was like, I'm familiar with your game. I know your work.
Y'all was just real about the DMs. So I just wanted to reroute that and just ask, like, what is too far in the DMs? Why? What is a reaction in a relationship? Because I'm not going for that shit. So I'm just curious.
So he can't ain't no DMing going on. your significant other. Ain't no, not on no friend shit, not on no, hey, you.
What's friend though? Because y'all take that
somebody
friend
they
word
follow.
and y'all move the goalposts.
I ain't even, okay, you're right. Somebody they follow.
That they
not
know?
even no real life friend. They don't even know him. It was just like a, but you know, Instagram send you
That's
to the DM just off a comment. No, Instagram will send you to the DM right off the comment though. Like if you comment, so ain't no comment on no pictures, right? That's what you're saying.
What are you comment? Why? You can't just like it and move on?
I can't.
That's not thirsty to you?
I don't comment on anything really. I always find it. I always tell people, man, stop being in these comments talking to strangers. So I'm not a comment person, personally.
I just wouldn't want my man to be that friendly. You can like it, but to like it, then take your time to do fire emojis, to react after like there are men in my DMs that react after everything. That's weird.
But what if, and I'm just
you know how the algorithm is though. Like the more they like your shit, that's your shit gonna be the first thing to pop up. The more they like your shit.
They got the little thing now where you can you see the 3 profiles and what they like. So you click and see what type of stuff they like. So it's telling you. But I guess my thing is, and I kind of alluded to it or spoke on it in the episode. There are certain people where it's like I don't even know what there is to talk about. But if you know someone, it is what it is. Like if you know someone, like you know them, not social media know them, real life know them. Like just holding a conversation, or you talking about flirting?
I feel like y'all don't know how to just have a conversation with women. A lot of men don't know just how to have the conversation. I.e., I just hugged this man because I know him from church, and now he think that I'm freezing.
That's fair. I get what you're saying, but also, dude played that whole situation wrong. He played that whole situation wrong.
But that
you can have a conversation.
Take it back a little bit though.
Huh?
You wouldn't be fucking with a nigga like that though, right? So doesn't he get the benefit of the doubt? Like if you know that ain't your nigga, if you know your nigga's not a thirsty nigga, and that picture is popping up and he hit the fire reaction, you know it wasn't out of thirst.
Like
it's just like, okay.
Hold on, Portia. I'm sorry.
Just like
what if just particularly that day, like it's just one of them ones. Like, damn,
are we talking about the story or are we talking about posting?
Story. So now we ain't talking about in the comments on the
I'm not talking about you ain't gonna catch me.
The nigga not gonna be in the comments putting the money bags in there like mall or nothing. You just like you looking at your stories and they going through and one of them pop. You like, dang.
But which one you liking though? Are you liking the fact that she's posting just a meme about how Monday is going to be a great day and we're going to be blessed? Or are you liking?
You gotta do the selfie. You got to do the selfie, the kids, and the post because you got to balance.
What if it's the fire food, the food?
You can't skip. You can't skip everything else and then just only heart the selfies. You got to go through the whole process. Not all of them, but you got to mix.
And that's why I say no. Because y'all got too many. Y'all let me like this one, so it don't. No.
Does the like versus the reaction make a difference? So you can like a story, then you can react to it. What if it's just a bunch of likes versus the reactions? The reactions, I can understand what you're saying. That can be excessive.
Yeah, it goes too much.
Everything I post is the react. I can understand.
But if you just hit the heart, it don't hit the DMs.
Right.
You have to truly react.
Hold on.
To get it in the DMs.
No, the heart just a notification. But if you hit like the fire or the hard eyes, that's going.
Now you in my DMs. Now
okay,
we got to open dialogue. We can, or even if you not trying, I don't even want my man to put himself in a situation to where a bitch be like, look at how many times he done fire emoji me. Because now you like a lame. And now how am I supposed to combat when a bitch be like, he do like me? Because look, you could be like, it ain't even what it is. But that's what it looked like. Because everyone, you got to put a fire emoji.
That's different. Yeah.
Just heart that shit.
But that goes to my point. It all depends. Not all depends, but it all comes back to don't ever get caught up. That's why I said, man, he was wild for even doing that shit. That's some shit you say in person, you keep that shit moving. Don't leave a paper trail because of what you just said, Portia. Even if, and most of the times, if you're doing all that, you're usually on some bullshit. Like the overreactions are crazy. But nobody should know that. You should never be able to pull up the evidence and just say, oh, yeah, look at all these, nigga, a whole thread of fire and heart eye emojis. Like, nah, nigga, like, I'm cool.
The hard eyes is a lot. Like I see what you're saying. You can't. You in a relationship. You're not spitting the hard eyes to it. But The fire. So
men are known for the fire emoji, the heart
Hard
emoji,
eyes.
and just the eyes.
Oh, the
Like
looking
They just
eyes
send you
is
the
egregious.
eyes. Oh my god,
The look eyes is
that's y'all
egregious. You
bad.
can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that though. If you shooting your shot at that point, like if you're doing the look eyes, you're shooting your shot. But to go back to the fire, can she be considered a lame for even thinking? Like, ain't no dialogue, ain't no conversation, and it may not be every pick, but it might be some picks in there that got the fire light. Like, can't she be considered the lame for even taking it to the extreme to be like, this nigga on my shit, blah blah this, blah blah that. Ain't it
I'm
a
gonna say
world where she
no.
lame?
I'm gonna only say no
It's man and
because
woman
that's
brain again.
usually how it goes. If you are consistently in my DMs with fire emojis, it's giving thirst. Now, would I have posted it for his wife? No, because I don't like drama like that. I stay out of married people business. You know your man a dog. You can find it yourself. But her assuming that he just wanted to smash, I don't think she's wrong in that.
There was no dialogue that said that he wanted to smash though. You just based off all emojis.
But once the conversation started going, it was, oh, you fine as fuck. Oh, I ain't know you followed me. Why are you so excited?
He wanted to smash, but it's offensive that the assumption was there. It's offensive. It's offensive.
Y'all are tripping.
Even if it's true. Even if it's true.
Yeah.
Because he didn't give the evidence of it being true. Until he started doing that shit. Until he started doing all that shit. You cool with your
girl saying, yo, you fine as fuck. I ain't even know you follow me. You cool with that? Yeah, okay. So you are fine as shit. I didn't even know.
Hold on, he said that. He said fine as fuck.
Yeah, he said you fine as fuck. I didn't even know that you follow me.
Yeah, man, he wild for that shit.
I mean,
yeah, you can't. Like I said, the paper trail is crazy. That's like I said. Yeah, we did talk about that because that's when I told Spike. That's when you say that if you see her in person.
In person, yeah, that ain't nothing. That
you would say that in person too.
I wouldn't, but if you were,
girl, you look good.
This is
You can't say, girl, you look good.
Hypothetical. If you were gonna do that, you do that in person. And even saying you look good because I know what Portia's about to do. Portia's about to take everything and flip it.
Me?
She about to look. If your girl did this, if your girl did that, and we're gonna be sitting here with the dumb faces, like, damn, she got a point. So
my girl can tell a nigga that he look nice. Pause.
Look nice or look
that's
good?
That's fine.
Look nice or look
nice. Good? It needs to be nice.
See?
But we don't talk like that as men. You'll be like, girl, you look well. I guess it's nice. Nice is a good word. That's a good word.
You look nice.
Yeah, you look nice. That's a cool.
You look nice. We got a
middle of the road compliment.
We have to be able to give compliments without it being sexually suggestive or sexually forward. And women have to be able to know that sometimes a compliment is just saying, hey, you look nice. You look nice. That's all I'm saying is you look nice. You put that shit on today. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
You in your bag.
You in your bag today, man. Like, can I do it? Okay, I see you. All right, then. Yeah, you got that shit on. Can I do that? Is that cool? Is that too much?
I'm gonna be fair.
Okay.
This is what fucks y'all up in the conversation.
Okay.
My man can, yes, you can tell a woman that she looks nice. Of course, be a gentleman. It gets real tricky when you only telling bad bitches that they look nice. Tell the old lady that you like her purse. Tell the bigger woman that's not you can always compliment somebody. But if that's not what you only complimenting bad bitches, it's a problem.
Nah, man, everybody get it. That's why I said life is about balance. Everybody gets
you gotta spread it out. You gotta
spread out the love, man.
The
world needs
professionals
more love.
know that though. Yeah, the world need love. You got the professionals know that though.
Yeah, man.
It is something wrong. I agree with you there. It is something. If the nigga only complimenting the bad bitches in the short dresses and the wrestling suits is hugging their bodies and showing all the contours, then yeah, that's an issue.
Because the more reactions, the more likely he's a cheater. Just to be honest.
I told y'all last week everybody cheats, so
I don't believe that.
That's not. It's definitely hyperbole.
That was another thing. I was like, "What the hell, Rich?"
It's hyperbole. I'm just saying at this point, to Spike's point, there's a lot of people that just that you see them air quote happy, but man, they be in some shit. And I just think that I don't know what it is, and I guess that's the real conversation. If we're being responsible about it, I don't know what it is that I don't know that point where people realize like, oh shit, I can't do this monogamy thing, or I have to step out and do things. It's got to be a breakdown in liking or respecting the person they're with, because we all know you have to choose your partner, right? You have to choose the person you with, your girl, your guy, whoever. Every single day is a choice. And I think we alluded to it. Yes, you're going to go outside, you're going to see some cold women. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see some cold women out there, but you have to say, nah, I got a good girl at home. And it's funny because Spike and myself were doing best episode ever on Entourage, and I was listening to an old episode, and Spike had mentioned about it's something about our ego that said, yeah, like my girl bad, but I can probably pull something better just because I feel like I can. Or this shorty over here is showing me some rhythm just because. I don't know if it's the sport of it or what.
For the sport.
Like, I'm not talking about the mature people. There's a lot of mature people who have happy relationships. Yeah, have happy relationships, man, who are adults about their shit, communicate well and all that. So we know that. But I will say that's a minority versus majority.
I have a theory. It hasn't been tested, but I truly believe it. I feel like, especially from listening to your last episode.
Listen to that shit you just said.
I believe it hasn't been tested,
but I believe
here's a hypothesis.
But I believe it. Hear me out. People who are unhappy in relationships or feel like they settle, or to your homegirl point, want to go out and open a relationship up. This is what I believe. You should not live with somebody until you are at least 27. You should not get married, engaged, or have kids until you are 32 and higher. Because by then, like, it seems like all the people that I feel are in marriages or in relationships and they feel like they missing something outside, or they want to cheat, or it's temptation when they go outside, is because they were, for lack of a better term, kind of lame. Like, they didn't really live life. They didn't travel. They weren't with the bad bitches. So when you go outside and you see a bad bitch, you don't know how to control it because you ain't never had one. Or you've been stuck in this relationship since you were 20-something years old. We all grow and y'all grow apart, but you still feel like you need to be there because of bills or marriage or whatever. I think like 33 and up is when you can really be like, yo, I've lived life. I know what outside is. I'm ready to be inside.
Everything you said is correct. I agree with you.
Yeah, that ain't bad. And it's not a bad theory.
That actually is something I 100% agree with.
I think there are outliers though. Like when we speaking to the situation that I was talking, my homeboy hit me up. He said, because he was with me when he was listening to that story. He said, I knew you was gonna talk about that on the podcast. But take that situation where I heard the young lady speak. They've been married maybe 10 years. She in her 40s. So she got married about 34. I think he may have had kids before they got married. But I also think a lot of hers was she might have caught him doing something and regretfully stayed because she got love for
you gotta leave every time. Every time. You gotta leave every time.
See, that's what it was reading like to me, because she was saying, I want my family. I want my household to be the same. I just want to I want to get mine. It's like he was able to get his. And that's when I told her, I was like, well, won't you tell him that? Because I feel like if you with your person and y'all done been through hell or high water together, and you know, like this is my life partner. We riding it out. There's a mature conversation that could be had where she can relay that information to him. Both of y'all looking at me like I
personally, I think that's weird.
Nah,
weird?
I wanted to hear what Portia had to say.
I think it's weird for you to still love and want to be with somebody, but want to have sex with somebody else, especially at this grown age. And it's 2025. Shit is weird out here. Sexual diseases are real, like pregnancies. You can't just get them gone any type of way no more. Like, I just feel like it's just too much shit out here, and we put too much emphasis on sex when sex really ain't good unless you like the person that you having sex with for real.
That's 100% a woman's perspective.
Yeah,
I will say this. That's 1,000% woman's perspective. Let me All right. But you would agree that there's just a human nature. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think the issue is, and I'll use the word audacity, is it the fact that your partner would have the audacity to bring it to you? Or is it because the human nature of wanting to be with other people, all right, whether it's sexually or not, sexually, right? Not just build a life with them. I mean, just naturally, oh snap, like I hit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I think that's one thing. You agree that exists, right? Or are you more so, because there are different type of people, there's sapiosexuals and all type of people who, like you said, Portia, I'm not even looking at you that way unless I know you in a certain way, unless you're smart and can have a conversation. Like there's some people who don't, it's not about looks at all, right? It's not about looks. It's more so, I'm not even thinking about sexual shit unless I peel back layers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that what you're...
No, I'm not saying it like I wasn't like out here in these streets. I guess what I'm trying to say is I've experienced life enough. I've had a lot of sex back when it was, I guess, responsible, or I could get away with doing so, right? That at 37, almost 38 years old, trying to get into my whole bag, been there, done that, and that's lame as shit to me, personally. Like, and I feel like if I'm with somebody and the sex isn't what I want, I would just phase that person out. Like, I just cannot have multiple penises in me at 37 years old.
But time out. All right. You said getting your whole bag. It's not getting in the whole bag. It's just saying, hey, I just want to experience something new.
I want to explore.
Whatever that is.
I want to explore.
And after we talked about it, I think a lot of it is just the freedom of it. The freedom of knowing I could if I wanted to versus actually doing it. I think and this is me talking, and I hate being the person who's not married and not in a relationship talking like this because I'm not on that other side of it. But I would imagine that there's a certain restriction, and I don't want to make it sound like jail because, like I said, you choose your relationship. But you do feel that guilt for having those natural human feelings, right? Seeing a woman and saying that she's attractive, I should not feel guilty for that because I'm still a human being. I'm still a man, and I still find women attractive.
But saying she's attractive and wanting to fuck is different.
But I'm going back to the DM conversation, right? Girl, you look good. Okay. You know what I mean? That, yes, the way he's saying the message might be wrong, but he's just being honest. And honestly, if that's all that happened, then for real, are we really, if we 10 years in, 15 years in, told somebody they look good, all right, man, whatever. All right, I got caught doing that stupid shit. It could have been a lot worse.
I guess I'm just big on respect.
I'm
huge on respect. So I don't know if my man was to be like, yo, I saw this girl at Walmart, thought she was cute, got her number, I might want to smash. I just want to be real honest with you.
That's what
she tried to put like the Jodeci voice on it and everything.
I just want to be real honest with you.
That was nasty right there. That was nasty. You try to put
I don't want that man no more. Cause now
that's
it's fair. Like, yo, because if I say wait. You probably still gonna do it. You've already taken the steps. So even if I say no, now you just gonna sneak and do it. Now we got trust.
Getting the number. Getting the number is crazy.
Yeah, getting the numbers.
Getting the numbers.
I got her IG.
Getting the number before you had the conversation is crazy. But I want to address something that you said. You in a relationship with a nigga who, if he came to tell you that because he feel like that he can, you're saying that you don't trust him no more after that?
No.
Really?
And you shouldn't trust your bitch either.
She came to tell you. Like, it wasn't like you caught them doing something.
Okay.
This is an honest conversation
I'm gonna run this.
This is an honest conversation that you having with the person that you think you love.
You ever, when you was a kid, right? You ever ask your parent, yo, like a hypothetical, and they say, absolutely the hell not. You just go in your brain and be like, yo, if I really want to do it now, because that mom and dad ain't good with that, now I have to think about how I can get away with it.
But see,
because you're going to do it anyway.
But wait, you see where you had to go to though. You went to kid. That's immaturity. If you a mature enough person to bring this scenario to your partner, and y'all have that level of respect for each other, after she like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. I don't get down like that. I believe a mature man that brought that to you can be like, okay, I'll never bring it up again. And I truly believe that. Okay. If you're dealing with a mature man, honest man.
Let me ask you this, Portia. Let's take relationship out of it, right? Let's take like the attraction conversation part. We'll keep the relationship, but we'll take all the cheating stuff out of it, right? Let's just have something else. I'm thinking about that episode of Martin when Gina was running back and forth, knowing that car had the boot on it, and just couldn't tell Martin about the ticket or the boot, right? She just didn't want to tell him because she said, oh, he said he's going to snap. If there was something that you do, like I said, it has nothing to do with cheating, but just anything that you knew that whoever you were with didn't like, and you did that thing, would you admit it to that person, or will you try to keep it to yourself?
No, like, because if I already know that they don't like it and I do it anyway, obviously I didn't respect them not liking it.
But I'm talking about something super, not anything that would make a relationship break up. I just mean something, I don't know. All right, let's use this example. Say two people live together, right? One person lost their job and they have no idea how to tell their partner. Wouldn't you prefer that person to tell the other person, hey, I just want to let you know what's going on. I lost my job, versus trying to hide it and getting up and acting like they're going to work every morning, but really going to do some bullshit because of that. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like, is it the act itself, or is it the fact that it's the lie? You know what I mean? So why wouldn't somebody be able to? All right,
I don't think that's a fair equivalent.
Because the whole point is being mature and responsible enough to bring a difficult conversation. I think that's a difficult conversation. I wouldn't want to be with someone that felt like they were muted, because I feel like if they can't bring anything to me, that it's going to be easier to, like what you said, do the bullshit.
Do shit.
So we can have a talk about it. I might not like it, but we can have a talk about it. I would feel similar to what Spike said. I kind of fuck with the fact that you respect me enough to bring this to me.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not going to feel like I'm fucking with somebody that's coming to tell me that after the fact, or is going to do it after I said no. I feel like if I'm in a relationship and I'm fucking with somebody, the level of respect that we are going to have with each other is, I brought this to you because I genuinely wanted your opinion on it. Now that you said no, I ain't fucking with it, it's out the window.
Get the fuck. Y'all really believe that?
Absolutely.
I don't see why it would be an issue.
Now, why wouldn't that be a thing?
Would it be difficult to hear that? Absolutely, 100%. We're not saying that. And I'm not even saying that the reaction won't be, get the fuck on, pack your shit, it's over, right? All of that is fair game on the table. That's how you want to react. That's how you want to react.
What I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, it feels like you're shutting down the, don't bring this bullshit to me because it's
correct.
Over. But why wouldn't they be able to have the freedom to,
the relationship
you don't look
at
that
now,
as respect? Yeah.
I lay down the boundaries. Like the first couple months in, hey, do you like threesomes? Because if that's what you need in this relationship, I don't invite bitches in my home. Hey, do you believe in open marriages and all that new shit that they doing? I don't do that. So you can go the fuck on. So my man will already know.
Fair, because you've already laid the boundaries.
Set the boundaries.
Yeah, don't come to me with that.
If y'all haven't had that conversation and he comes to you with it, that's different though, right?
No.
Why not? He just finding out. You might be into it. He don't know.
Like we just met, right?
Okay.
We've never met each other in person, but we text. Right. You kind of get the vibe.
Yes.
Imagine dating me. You think you gonna get that shit off? Like you should just know your partner. That shit's not, Portia's not going for that shit. You should kind of know your partner.
What you're saying is that, all right, that very fair point. That is one big important part of this. You should know who you can be able to bring that. Not everybody has that type of relationship. Yeah, and you have to know who the person you have, if you're with, and you can bring something. I do agree with that. But however, I don't think that people should be able to not share how they feel. Because what else are you not being upfront about or being honest about or feel like you can't tell? I don't want anybody tiptoeing around me, even if they think I'm going to be on some bullshit.
You are okay
I didn't say I was okay with it. I didn't say I was okay.
So
I'm okay with the conversation being had. I'm okay with.
So you're okay with your girl being like, "Yo, Chris Brown's 20th anniversary is coming. I'm spending $1,000, and I'm going to pose however I want to, and honestly, gonna try to suck some dick back there. That's cool with you, babe? You good? You listening to Chris Brown the next day?
I don't listen to Chris Brown anyway, but now,
all right,
but look
all right,
though,
all right.
now there's a conversation that need to be had. Like now you kind of giving me a peek into.
You don't feel insignificant. I can't make more money than you without your ego being bruised, but I can tell you I want some other man's penis inside of me, and you would be okay.
She better hope I never meet Kyla Pratt.
I was gonna say that's why I said now a conversation is being had because like, oh, now you coming to say this, like, so where is this going? Like, what type of luxuries are you extending me now? Like, is it okay for me to go pay the $1,000 to
Meg Thee Stallion had the meet and
greet. Meg Thee Stallion got the $1,000 meet and greet, and I tell her, like, you know what, I'm dropping $1,000. She finna twerk on me, and if everything go right, you know what I'm saying, I might be backstage.
You know what the difference is, Spike?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Like, nigga, you ain't about to pull her. Like, yeah, like that's what most women gonna say.
But if let's make it more realistic. What if she really comes to you and be like, "Hey, I really feel some type of I feel an attraction towards this guy that's in the office, and before anything goes too far, I just want to let you know and see if that's okay. You cool with her going to work every day after that?"
I don't think.
I need to see this nigga though. I have to see the office nigga though. I gotta see this office nigga.
What does seeing him have to do anything?
I just want to know, like, outside of me, what she looking at. Like,
so you're gonna build on your insecurities.
I ain't gonna be insecure about it at all.
Because you're gonna go see this man. What if he 6'7"?
I'm gonna judge her. I'm gonna judge her.
Cock diesel. So now she a hoe.
No, I'm still gonna judge her. I ain't judging her as far as calling her a hoe, but I'm gonna judge her like, oh, that's what you into, that nigga. Okay.
So then when you see somebody at the mall that looks similar to that nigga, you gonna be side-eyeing your girl.
Nah, because I think it's more intricate than that. This is a nigga that she go to work with 40 hours a week. Ain't no telling what type
Rich
of
don't even believe you. Look at his face.
And lunches and all this bullshit. Like, y'all know how them work relationships go. Like, you know how these slimy ass office niggas is. So
I went to the gym and this guy always speaks to me. And look, I really love his
how
muscles.
them gym niggas is too.
But here's the thing. I think we're exaggerating how that conversation would go. I think the exaggeration, I don't think the conversation, that's a whole different unlocking of honesty with your partner if you just go being that blunt about it. I think it's more so a conversation that, all right, just like you talked about laying down boundaries, right? I think the same thing should happen more in relationships early on. About
people don't know
what's cool to bring to me and what's not. Like, because I guess here's the whole point to put a pin in it is it's more so about, hey, if you ever have anything on your mind, right, when it comes to us and our relationship, I always want you to have that door open to bring that to me, right? That should be a conversation we should always be able to have. It sounds reckless when it's like on some, hey, I saw Shorty at the gym, I want to fuck. That's a different thing. But
so you want to sugarcoat it a little bit.
Nah, it's not even.
You can't come to me and say it like that. I'm gonna say yeah.
Because me personally, I just feel like in all seriousness, I feel like the conversation should be like, if you do see a chick that you want to whatever, bring that conversation to me of what am I doing that would make you want to go over there. If it's just, yo, I want some new box, I can't be with you because you have no discipline. But if it's yo, she talks to me a certain way and she makes me feel then I have to ask the question, okay, what am I doing that I'm not providing you with that? And how can we keep it in-house?
But see, I think that's the woman brain, because what if it ain't got nothing really to do with you? What if he's just attracted to her?
Yeah, I just want to hit.
Then you have no discipline and I don't want you.
Well, I ain't doing anything.
You're gonna be attracted to 1,000 women.
He just said,
but I don't want to fuck all of them.
I
don't want to fuck all of them.
I probably won't.
It's one chick. Yeah.
Then why do you got to tell me? I see niggas every day that I think is cute, but I ain't like, hey, that nigga over there.
Okay.
Why do you have to say that?
I just heard this on Joe Budden. I want to ask y'all this thing because it got to do with that. You don't want to know your partner's fantasies?
No. But hold on, wait.
So they gotta hide that from you.
If it's a fantasy
like you don't want to know
I
what
can't
your man
provide,
like.
no.
Now what if he just like what he really into? Hopefully it ain't
what he really into.
Yeah, I was gonna say hopefully it ain't no like questionable shit, but just whatever he into. Like you wouldn't want him to tell you that, like, man, this is what I like, or this is what my porn history search look like. Like you don't want to know that.
Yeah, but I also watch porn with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't know. It would have to be something like that I could provide. If it's like, yo, I've always wanted to tie somebody up. Yo, I always wanted to role play. But you saying, yo, I've always wanted to fuck a redhead chick and not advising for me to put on a wig. You want to go get one? I can't. What am I supposed to do? Why do I need to know that?
And here's the thing. I want to make sure this is the part that I'm saying. It's not about going out to get the redhead. It's about being comfortable enough to bring that conversation to you. I'm not gonna do it.
That's why you have friends, Rich. That's why you have friends.
But don't you want your partner to be your friend?
That's too much honesty for your relationship. That's too much honesty. Is that what you're saying?
It's just some things I don't need to know. Like that's why as people we have different relationships with different. Tell that to the group chat. Yo, shorty that just walked in was bad as hell. She had a fat ass. I don't need to know that.
But I feel like if that would ever come out after, I guarantee you, Mr. Make It Happen girl or wife, excuse me, I don't want to disrespect. Well, he disrespecting her, but I don't want to. I bet if she knew that was going on or that conversation was had, it'd be a lot more different than her finding out.
Or we might be overstepping and they might have their relationship like that.
Yeah, they might have that.
Like, he made a show to her, like, man, look who following me. Oh, I'm gonna shoot at her. Like, we don't know that him and his wife don't get down like that.
He might have been recruiting her for her.
Totally different. If I like bringing women into the bedroom, if I like doing that and we have established that, fine. You just us being in a regular relationship and you showing me pictures, Instagram reels of baddies, I'm fine.
To bring it all around. To bring it back around, Portia, we'll never know unless we bring that conversation up. Exactly. Your girl could be into some shit and you don't know until you bring it up to her.
Trust me, you will know.
I know. I'm talking shit.
The woman will be like, her ass fat, baby. You see her ass? Don't ever do it first.
Nah, I'm talking shit when I say that. That was just me trying to get the last word. But all right, well, it is what it is. I personally, and this kind of stems back. I forget what chapter it was. It was in book 1, and it was between Mo and Spike, and it was a very, very interesting conversation. I've alluded to it a couple times in previous episodes, but Spike's response to, I think Mo posed a question like, "What happens? What if you got cheated on? Right? You're in your person, you got cheated on, and after the cheating happens, the woman for the next 6 months, it was the best relationship you ever been in." Spike, you remember this convo?
After you cheat.
All right, no, after you. So the dude didn't get cheated. Let's say there's a guy, right? This question is posed to Spike. Spike, your girl cheats on you, right? You're in a relationship, your girl cheats on you. For the next 6 months after that incident, she tells you about it. She tells you that she cheated. She comes to you and tells you, "Hey man, I cheated. Feel terrible about it." For the next 6 months, it is the best relationship he's ever been a part of. The best relationship. He's getting everything that he's ever desired out of a relationship.
Okay.
Spike posed the question of, well, what's the point of me being like, what is our reason? And I think that's an important question, right? Why are we here in this relationship? Is it because I should leave at the first sign of some bullshit happening? Because bullshit gonna happen all the time. Or do I have enough to say, you know what? That happened. But if I'm happy and I'm getting everything I need, then I should be able to look past that bullshit if I know that it was a genuine human mistake versus a pattern and something that's gonna happen every other month. And the relationship is stronger and it goes from there. Now, do I broadcast it and tell everybody? Absolutely not. But if that's something that stays in your relationship and you can grow from it and you swallow that, well, I don't want to make the person who got cheated on feel like they have to be the bigger person. I don't want to make it sound like that. But That's a very interesting point, and I get it because the question was, what's the point of us being here? If the point is to have the best, healthiest relationship we can, and I feel like that's happening, then I should be able to overlook some bullshit. Now, I know a lot of people can't get to the point where they can even get to the 6 months because they out on day one. But if you were happy and you know your partner, you know your girl, you know your dude, and you know, like, oh, damn, I didn't expect this from them. They fucked up. But I'm really happy here. I enjoy it here. I'm secure here. We built a life. It ain't some shit you can just, I've been talking to you for 2 weeks and I'm out. Like, your number actually saved in my phone. You got a profile picture. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that's
with some
involved
emojis. With some emojis.
Yeah, with some emojis. Is that mature? Is that dumb?
I'm not saying leave at the sign of bullshit because you are supposed to work through some stuff. I'm not saying that. That cheating shit though, you can kiss my ass. You are up out of here. Now, if I decide to go back after we separated, you got to figure out what you was missing. But we have to separate.
Are you saying there's gonna be a separation? Ain't no separate.
Have to separate. If it's cheating, I can deal with anything else. That cheating shit, me personally, I cannot do that shit.
You can deal with brokenness
for a minute.
What's a minute?
Depends. If we live together,
and he trying. You see him 3 to 6, and you see him trying in this job market.
Yeah.
6 months.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with 6 months of brokenness for one night of passion.
What you mean? I'm talking about if we in a relationship.
Right, you're in a relationship. And the scenario that Rich said happened versus a nigga being broke for 6 months.
Oh no, I'm
broke
not doing
for 6 months.
I'd rather you be broke.
Would you feel entitled? Would you feel entitled to cheat if you was fucking with a broke nigga?
No. But I'm very, very, very loyal.
Yeah, you're
like if I'm riding with you, I'm a ride. But that cheating shit, if I stay with you, no, I am only staying to hurt your feelings. Like I'm not dealing with that. Because how happy were you if you can fuck somebody else? You know how intimate sex is?
For women.
For y'all.
Men can have an intimate sex. It ain't really it's an intimate act, but
that's what I'm saying. It's very, very intimate. I don't want my man
sharing stuff. I get that.
Don't share that. Like that. No, that's embarrassing. To know that your man, if to be in a relationship and not be confident that you have that person, at least in that situation, that's embarrassing to me.
So is it embarrassing if you want to go date night, you double date with the friends and the bill come out, and because he ain't worked in 3 months, you got to pay it?
Well, I already know that he ain't worked, so I'm going to just slide him that money before we even get there, because I don't embarrass my man like that. And you trying.
Jesus.
Would you say that if you had friends that cheated, would you be giving the same speech?
If my friend cheated on a person?
Yeah.
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 So you can't be friends with chicks that cheat on their man.
They ain't got nothing. They ain't cheating on me. I'm like, girl, now you know you wrong. Girl, why you don't leave him? Because cheating is a lot of work.
That's fair. All right. I think we got enough out of that convo. Some of the stuff I believe, some of the stuff I wanted to play devil's advocate, just to kind of challenge some of the thoughts. I do think there is a space for honesty. I get what you're saying, Portia. It is blunt when you just motherfucker come up to you. Yeah, this nigga at the gym. I've been thinking about that nigga for 3 months. Like, get the fuck out of my face. But there is a way to have that conversation.
I was just about to say, not to continue to drag this out, but they got to do with respect too. There's a way that you can come say it. You can't come say it like that. You ain't talking to me like that. Like, that's not gonna happen. But if there's a different approach that could be taken, the way I'm gonna listen to what you're saying.
All right.
Let me know.
With that being said,
let me know what's hilarious.
I want to roll this out to you because you had a conversation that you wanted to discuss this week involving friendship, and I just kind of want you to lay the foundation for it, and we can build from there.
Okay, so this has been happening. I've been having this conversation with multiple people about friendships for like the last 8 weeks, but over the last 5 years, I have truly lost a friend that I thought would be around forever. I lost contact with the friend. We just actually started talking again. And I thought we was gonna be friends forever, but miscommunication. It seems like my small circle, although love them to death still, it's still like a bond, but it's not the same. People done got married, people have had kids, people live in different cities, get different friends. So I guess the conversation I want to have is, what are you a good friend? And what is a good friend to you? And what does friendship look like in this adult age?
Very good question. Spike, you want to take it first?
That's a really good question. I agree. I think it's natural that friendships change. We had a conversation in book 1. You might have been on there, Rich, when we talk about day twos.
Yeah,
the people who are like that you met later in life, that not your childhood friends, but just a different connection that you have with people that you've met since you've been an adult or since you've moved to another city, and how different that is from your day one friends. And you need both, but it makes you it challenges you because you have new standards, you have new things that you're doing, new stuff that you're into. But when you go back to the old friends, it's like, we're cool because I grew up with you. Not necessarily because we're into the same things now, not necessarily because we talk every day or hang out every day like we used to, but I've been knowing you since I was 14, 13, 12, 11 years old. I got my best friend I've been knowing since kindergarten. We still talk monthly, at least. So I think it is difficult, especially when you leave your home state like we have, when you go back and you see them doing some of the same stuff. Like, you see that maybe they hadn't grown as much as you have because you stepped out and you lived in these different cities, you met these different people, you've done these different things, and kind of see the world differently from outside the neighborhood that y'all, or the clique that y'all grew up in. And it made you realize a lot of stuff about yourself. I know for me personally, like, I realized we used to be super suck up. Like, some of the friends that I have now, I wouldn't even fucking have talked to when I was coming up with my homeboys, like my real homeboys. But it is difficult, and it does. I agree with what you're saying, Portia. You look at it like, am I tripping, or should I be judging them for like where they are, like where they at in life right now? Being, if they ain't married, if they ain't like career-wise where they want to be, like, should I be judging them because sometimes they're doing the same thing? Thankfully, I don't really have that scenario with my friends. Like, a lot of them are prospering, doing what they want to do, and doing the things that they like to do, and they're good parents. And I don't know nobody that's married, which is ironic. But all of them are mostly in the situations they want to be in.
Something in my throat.
But so to answer your question, I do think I'm a great friend. I think I'm a great friend in the sense of I'm always, or can be there for my old friends and my new friends. I'm astute enough to be able to give them advice when they need it, and I know how to communicate well enough not to offend them if the advice ain't what they want to hear. Like, I just had a situation this week. Like, one of my friends that I work with, I've been knowing for maybe 10 years. And he got into a situation with his boss, and I just happened to be in the same room and I saw it play out. He's not as savvy in corporate America as I may be because I've been in it longer. And soon as the little meeting was over with, the boss called him in the office, and they had it out. They was going at it, yelling at each other and shit. And I took a walk with him later, and he was telling me about it, telling me his side of it or whatever. And I was like, do you mind if I offer you feedback as a friend? As a co-worker, not as anything, just let me offer you some feedback. He was like, yeah, sure. I told him how it played out, and he didn't see it at all. Like, bro, you threw dude under the bus. Now, I know you as a friend, you're just being you. That's your personality. But in reality, you're talking to this dude and you're talking to his boss and you going on about this thing that he's talked to you about already. Wow, reference Rich, you avoiding the chain of command. And that's how he took it. He was like, well, that ain't how I meant it. I was like, I don't care how you meant it, bro. It came off like you did it this way. And he didn't mean any malice by it. That's just his personality from how I know him. But at the end of the conversation that he and I had, he was like, you know what? I appreciate that because I'd never seen it like it. And he was like, I'm not apologizing to him because I don't feel like he was wrong. And I told him, I was like, as your friend, I'm not saying that you were wrong. I'm making an observation to you to tell you why it played out like that. Because I just may have a little bit more experience in this field than you do. And he appreciated that. And I think that's what being a good friend is, being able to give people in your life advice with like, bro, you may not like me for these next 2 minutes, but I'm going to keep it real with you. And you have to know, if you know me, it's respectful, but it's just like what you need to hear.
It's Tony Soprano and Jackie Jr.
Yeah, we're
gonna sit there and I'm gonna say some things. I'm gonna say some more. I'm gonna say some things you don't like. Portia, that's a great question, and I have a lot of thoughts on it because I'm a good friend. I can always be a better friend. Some of it is I'm at the point of life where I'm locked into this goal and this vision that I have, that there's a little bit of tunnel vision and it's not intentional. And I've said this before, my low maintenance friends mean the most to me because you have to have people that don't take it personally when you are striving to be yourself. If I was bullshitting, that's one thing. But when you actually every single day trying to make steps to be a better person, and sometimes that requires you to be selfish, because it took me a long time to kind of be selfish for myself. I always want to show up for other people and things, which is always cool when you have the time. But I just told myself, all right, you got to lock in and do these certain things. So there are people that I've known and they know me well enough to know, hey, I know Rich out here doing his thing. Like, we just gonna get up when we get up. We check in, but it might not be as frequent as it could be. But besides that, there are still people that I talk to every single day that are extremely close to me. And the one thing that I realize, and I'm sure you both would agree, everyone has to do inventory on who is in their life and what position they actually are or what position they play. Right? I think the term friend needs to be defined first and what that really means. And you can have different levels of friendship. You know, I think when you're younger, you in your 20s, any age that you're at, when you're in a constant social circle, whether it's college and I'm on the yard a lot, whether it's fresh out of college and I'm hitting up the town every single weekend, I'm Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, I'm out. I'm seeing people, I'm kicking it, right? Even throughout the week, I can go to work, I can do whatever I can, and I'm kicking it after. Now we at that point in our life where we go to work, we go home. If we choose not to speak to people, people might not hear from us. We have to be intentional about it. And as you get further away, and it's something that you said, Portia, growing up, especially if you're blessed to have good friends, there are certain people that you look at and you're 17, 18, thinking this shit gonna be forever. And when that first division and that split happens, it's hard to handle it. And it's hard to accept that, you know what, sometimes we just at different points of life. And maybe we don't connect in the same way because we're not doing the same things, or we no longer have the same mindset, or I elevated here, or you went left here. Because that can happen out of nowhere sometimes. You just like, yo, this motherfucker bugging. Like, you see, I can't fuck with you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with your your understanding of yourself and your inner peace, to actually acknowledge that, yo, I can't do this with this person. I'd rather just. Ross had one of my favorite Ross lines is fell out with some people that I still love. You know what I'm saying? He said that on Trap Love on Hood Billionaire. Right? Fell out with some people that I still love, because that happens. It ain't got to be no beef and ain't got to be no blow up. It's just that, man, we live two different lives right now. And when you really sit down and define who's a friend, honestly, there's probably only 2, 3, maybe 4 of them. Like the ones that are really there. And then maybe some are just associates or really, 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 really close homies. And people that you would help. Like people, like if they was in the jam, I got them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no issue. They call my phone right now, I'm picking up. But a lot of people they go from friends to people I knew. Like a lot of people all throughout stages of life, but sometimes it's 10 years since you talked to somebody. You can't be out here saying you know them and you vouch for them. You know what I mean? Y'all watching Raising Kanan?
No, I ain't caught up.
Okay, I ain't gonna use the example. Go ahead, Portia. What you about to say?
I was just gonna ask, like, because we're all, well, except for you, Spike, we're all in our 30s. But have y'all experienced that, like, as of late? Like, because I feel that mid-30 friendship get real tricky on what exactly is a friend, because yes, like y'all were saying, I should be able to give you the advice even if you get mad at me for a minute. But now we are dealing with people who truly have a family at home, truly have a husband or a wife. And it's like, I ain't got that. I ain't trying to overstep, no matter what it is. And then that relationship that you see your friend going through that you can't really speak on may drive y'all away, or like just like life going two different paths, you still trying to keep it, but you can no longer always say what you want to say as a friend. You can't always do what you want to do as a friend. You can't see them as much to get that one-on-one time, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is what it is. I feel like the older I get, to your point, Rich, that 2 to 3 people, like, it's to the point now, I know when my phone rings who it is. Like, but it is kind of like a lonely feeling at some point, I guess you could say.
I get that. I definitely get that, because I don't talk to none of my friends really on a daily basis. Like, I don't, and I, something to Rich said, like, I don't have high maintenance friends. Like, I don't deal with high maintenance people. Like, you have to know the availability that I have, and I expect you to be just as busy as me. Like, I don't call me all the time, nigga. Don't be tech. Like, I'm Rich make fun of me all the time. Like, I know, nigga, you'll just read the text and just keep it moving.
I know the shit that I'll send Spike that I'll never get a response for, and I think that shit hilarious.
It ain't like Rich. No, I love him to death, but it's just like, I'm not responding to that, bro. Like, I ain't even like but I expect that out of people as well. He do the same thing
on Spike's behalf, and I do the same thing. And it's never anything that's serious. It'll never be nothing serious. It's always bullshit, and I just know, like, Spike ain't never gonna respond to this shit.
It's like what you said earlier when we was having that talk about the relationship, Portia. By this time in my life, the friends that I have, they know what I'm gonna deal with. Like, Lou not going for that. Like, I'm not even gonna ask him to do this or have that conversation or go here with me, because he's not gonna do it. Like, I'm going to flat out tell you no and almost be offended that you even asked me. Now, I do think that there's a difference between men and women friendships, and people point this out a lot to what you say, Portia. At this age, my friends, the relationships that I see that men, even if I'm an advocate for it, or I think that it's something shady going on, I know that nigga. I know you, bro. I know even if me and you have a conversation, you're going to go do what you want to do anyway. We've been friends for 25, 30 years. It don't matter what I tell you. And I think women's relationships and friendships are different in the sense of y'all have those heart-to-hearts. Y'all sit here and be like, well, yo, man, this, that, and the third. Like, I would never have a conversation with my homeboy about his wife. Even if he bring it to me, I'm gonna tiptoe around it. And it's not because I value the friendship so much, it's because I know him. You came to me to vent. You ain't come to me for an answer. Like, that's how men, I think, work. And that's the issue I think that you're dealing with, Portia, because y'all don't do that. Like, women, y'all get in deep. Like, with the friend, like, y'all giving each other advice on, like, this nigga, that, and the third, or
we'll find the play
to check his phone.
Really? That's what changes. What was you gonna say, Rich?
Let me say one thing about that. To your point, Spike, or maybe a little bit adjacent to it. I think one thing that's really going to help, and I've noticed this in my 30s, that really brought me actually closer to people I've known for years, is having those deep, real, honest conversations, but not about what's going on in your life. Open it up about what's going on in mine.
Yep.
That goes a long way into friendship, right?
Say that again.
So a lot of the stuff we're talking about is, y'all talk about relationships. Like Spike said, I'll never have a conversation about my boy's wife with my boy, right? As you get older, especially with the more you know people, the more you share about yourself, the more you reveal about yourself and what's going on in your life, good, bad, and different, just real, pure honesty
about that vulnerability
how you feel about things, that vulnerability, that brings friendships closer. Because it's not about like what's up with you, what's up with this. You're not just going back and forth like, hey, what's going on with your life? Nah, actually, let's hold up. Let me tell you what's going on in mine.
I need to
let me tell you how I'm fucked up about this and this, that, and the third. And it's not about them, just venting, just talking about it. Because then you realize, like, damn, I'm going through the same thing. Or people might have some advice for you. That vulnerability really opens things up. I talked about it, man. There was a night I'll never forget at my boy's crib, man, and we was just having a good ass conversation. And a whole nother one of our other boys pulled up, and we were just talking, man, and just kind of one person being open and vulnerable led to the next person.
Yep.
And you sitting here with people you know for 20 years learning things or learning that they feel certain ways, like I said, not towards you, but just in life in general, right? The way they feel about approaching day-to-day life, right? Because we all know as we get older, that's just a grind. You know what I mean? I always told people, man, I understand how people check out, how they can look at their life and say, this is it for the rest. I'm going to wake up, go to work, take care of these kids, and that's it. And that's a scary ass feeling to me. Right. I always want to have something that I strive for and do, but I understand how it happens. And the more honest you are, the more vulnerable you are, you can learn about each other. And I'll tell you another thing that men, I don't think do enough. They say they do, but they don't. Man, there's an issue, man. We got to talk about this shit now. Like, there shouldn't be any tips on when I shouldn't be hearing from one of my boys that another one of my boys got an issue with me. And he got some things that he been having on his chest for X amount of time. Like, bro, we all cool. Bring that shit to me, because misunderstandings are the biggest cause of any kind of fraction or breakup, in my opinion.
Yeah, for
Especially with friendships. And it could just be easy. An easy conversation could have been like, all right, good. You dap it out. It's all love.
I got friends going through that now. Like, I met these two niggas through each other. Like, that's the only reason that I know both of them. And these niggas ain't talked in 2 years over, like what you said, Rich, just some miscommunication. Like, I still actively talk to both of them. I still talk to both of them. One of them act like it ain't even, like, he act like the nigga never existed. He ain't mentioned his name since or nothing in 2 years, and the other nigga can't get off of it. Man, this nigga such and such, this, that, and the third. And I was like, bro, don't talk to me about him if you ain't gonna have a conversation with him. Because I'm not gonna be a mediator, and y'all too old to act like this. So if you feel that way and you tell him or you tell somebody else, but don't talk to me, because that's still my boy. Like, I actively still fuck with him, and I fuck with you. So I don't want to hear the conversation about how you don't fuck with him or why you don't fuck with him. It ain't got nothing to do with me, really.
Men have it so easy.
Why you say that?
What makes you say that?
Because like, I feel like with y'all friendships or friendship breakups or whatever, it's just real. Yo, we just need to have a talk. Like, yo, we just need to be vulnerable. Like, y'all can work through it. Women are so emotional and hold things in. Like, a lot of my friendships, Rich, you know one, I was real cool with Bird in college. Thought that was gonna be my friend forever. Moved to Texas, started living my life, and it was one of those, girl, you gone, you don't need me no more. And I've never talked to her again. It just be like, it feel like animosity. Or
you feel like that was from, did you get that from did you feel like I wasn't communicating, or is it every time I reached out, I felt like it was like, damn, like the shit switched up? Was it coming from your end, her end, or both?
Of course I'm gonna say it was on her end.
Yeah.
But that's where I say it gets tricky for women, because when you have been cool with somebody and y'all have been single and childless and manless, just running the streets and everything is good, and then one person gets pregnant and essentially is stuck in a city, but the other friend has chosen a totally different life, gets to move around, live in different states. I feel like it's just an animosity there. Or you know what I'm saying?
Jealousy in friendships is a real thing.
Yeah, it gets
a real
real
thing.
weird.
I think women probably go through it more than men, but I'm sure there are men who are jealous of their friends or certain. There's some. That's why conversations are so essential. Because did you ever feel the need to just say, "Yo, we good"?
So
or was it past it?
I'm always the one that's just like, "Yo, we good?" And it was, "Yo, you still on that? Yeah, we ain't talked for 6 months, but we still on that." And at that point, it's like, I've made a change.
When you say own that, what's your name?
The situation that made us hang up and not talk for 6 months. when we got back cool, because I'm the type of person I need to know. Like, so this don't happen again. So when I asked her, hey, remember back, what made you say what I do to you? Girl, you still on that?
You brought it back up.
And don't every girl, you still on that with me. Like, we don't have to be on shit. Because if I'm not clear on something, I can't be fake with you. Like, if we can't have the conversation, we just can't be cool. Because I'm gonna always feel like, okay, now I gotta walk on eggshells. What happened with the friendship? You don't want to talk about it. So did I say something? Or now I don't feel authentic. Or
see that goes to your point. That you brought up a very good point as far as the difference between men and women's relationships, because you still on that with men and women is completely different. Like with men, especially if that's your, like, we homies, it's like, nigga, quit fucking talking to me about, quit asking me about that, nigga. We like, you can go there with them.
It's like Pinky it's like Pinky and Craig and Friday After Next. Nigga, every time I see you ask me about that same shit, and we good.
There's a masculine energy that's surrounded by that, where we as men can be like, nigga, we ain't fighting about it. So, and we right here in the same vicinity. I ain't took it there with you yet. Like, why is this even a thing? Men deal in logic so much more differently than women, as far as how y'all deal in emotion. And that does benefit our friendships. And even so, in the sense of where somebody that I ain't talked to in 6 months, here's a scenario. I have a friend. So we just reconnected recently. We hadn't talked in years, but we hadn't talked in years because he swung on me. And he swung on me because we was playing basketball and I was talking shit. And he wasn't used to losing. And I would, every time I scored, like, nigga, yeah, you sorry, nigga, you can't do this, do that in the third. And he was just frustrated. And he swung on me. And of course, people would ask, so they broke it up. It doesn't really happen, but he just swung on me. But he's apologized since then. And at first, when I was younger, it was like, I ain't got to fuck with buddy. But it was one of my closest friends. Like, we hung out every day. Like, I don't know what he was going through or what made him do it that day, or maybe I just talking shit that bad that he was like, fuck this nigga think I'm pussy. But even in reconnecting, so he got my number from one of my, like, day one friends that I hang out with every time I go to the city, that we talk on a daily basis. Like, he said, man, such and such, I seen him in the club. He asked about you, told me to give you his number. I was like, okay. And the nigga text me and we reconnected. Now, every time I go to the city, I'll text him, hit him up, and we'll talk or whatever it may be. But it never goes back to that situation, because as men, we've gotten over it. Like, it's nothing that I'll need to, like, unless I'm trying to fight him, it's nothing that I need to address him about on that. And I think, to what you said, Portia, like, women don't do it that way. Like what you said, when you say you had to ask, like, is you still on that? And that's offensive in the sense of, like, yeah, bitch, that hurt my feelings. Like, I get what you're saying, but men don't have to do that. So I do agree with you in a sense, like, as in friendships, especially if you're a real genuine person, not if you're jealous of your homeboy, not if you're just hanging with a nigga because he got motion or whatever it may be. But if it's a nigga that you fuck with for real, things can happen where you can be like, yeah, that happened, but I fuck with you because I know the type of person you are, and we can move on. We never got to mention it again. And we can be good. Men, we have that luxury of doing it. But that's also why women, y'all have more, I think y'all have more, like, y'all have a better bond with y'all friends than we do.
Yes.
Because y'all are that emotional.
Yeah, like, we're emotional, like, we're vulnerable. Like, I'm not going to not ask my homegirl. We have truly went through everything and talked about everything. And then I'm just not gonna ask you what the issue was. Like, but I don't think, to some people, I'm a good friend. But I do want to ask y'all a question about something. And y'all tell me. So what really sparked this whole friendship conversation is because I was real cool with a chick. Actually, she was on, like, the first frequency, right? We used to call her Cuz, right?
Yeah.
And we were really, 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 really close. But I was supposed to be a maid of honor in her wedding. Okay. Right before the wedding, I get a call from my job. Hey, I'm promoting you and I'm moving you to Texas, but you have to come within 7 days. Like, I truly got the job and moved within, like, a week, right? I call her. I say, hey, like, I know this is really fucked up, but I've been trying to get out of Ohio. I really want this job. Like, I have to go, right? I missed her wedding. I was a bad friend, quote unquote. In my mind, fam, life just lifed. And I'm doing grown-up things and I have to get situated and I'm moving to a place where I know nobody. She got really upset about that. We reconnected a little bit. But it's never really the same. But we were talking for a year and then she brought it back up, right? And it's like, yo, fam, we've been talking for a year.
Wait,
we
when she brought
talked
it back
about
Brought
it.
it back up,
how
how?
approach it?
Like brought
Yeah,
it
how
back
she
up,
approach
how?
it?
Like, so I
Me and
asked her to
Rich
do a
elaborate.
show. I asked her to do a show with me. And she was like, I'm honored that you asked to do the show with me. I would want to do it, but I got to get this off my chest. And she brought it back up. But we
You been talking
talked
for a
about
year?
it a year ago.
No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
See, a nigga can't. I can't have conversation like that. You're right. That's a lady and man. Because I'm not having a conversation with a nigga after we've been reconnected for a year that you got to get something off your chest.
didn't have that.
Don't get shit off your chest with me, nigga. Like, say that shit when we first reconnected, then we keep moving from there. But I've had a similar scenario. Like, I missed one of my closest friends' wedding, and it wasn't even nowhere near a good excuse as you had. It was just I was really just bullshitting. But in that sense, he ain't never brought it up. I could tell he felt a way about it, but we still worked through whatever it was because we do business together. He was kind of distant around that time and following, but since then, like it ain't never came back up. He ain't never mentioned it, and we good now.
But did you have an actual conversation about it?
Never had a conversation about it. But he one of them niggas is like he's nonchalant, and it's never gonna be like, oh, I felt a certain way. He's not gonna
like
be
people like that.
Did you ever feel the need to bring it up? Did you ever feel the need to say, "Hey, man, my bad"?
Nope. I didn't.
Why not?
And we good.
Why not?
Because of his nonchalantness. And that's what I challenge him on in our friendship relationship. Like, bro, if you got a problem, you need to say something to me. Don't be passive aggressive. Don't do this weird ass shit where like you ain't answering the phone or you don't like say something if you have a problem and point that shit out. And if you don't, then I'm gonna keep it moving. Like we cool. And again, it wasn't anything. Well, I ain't gonna say who it is, but it wasn't anything where it severed the business relationship because we continued to work together. But I could tell that he got over it without us having a conversation. But that's just man shit. That's what we do.
Yeah, see, like women are whole because when she brought it back up, it's like, okay, I'm in therapy, so I understand that your feelings are valid. Now, granted, I told her my side too, eventually, but it's like I don't like that shit. Like, don't act as if we are cool and hold secret resentment.
And you still
I see a lot of people in like adult friendships that do that. Like a talk shit about something that they felt, don't talk about it to that person. And then now we're in this weird fake friendship. Like, I don't know. I just been feeling like adulting friendships turn a little fake. Just a little bit. Like, because how often are you supposed to be there physically for your friend? How often are you supposed to drop when they have events like weddings and baby showers? If you are, like Rich said, in a tunnel vision zone, like it's just so many different areas when it comes to friendship. Because I can think I'm doing excellent, only for you to come to me a year later talking about you still harvesting something, or you know what I mean?
That's where the importance of knowing your friends. I always tell people, man, my friends will never surprise me, ever. Like, I'll never be surprised by anything my friends tell because I pay attention and I know them well enough to know exactly what it is. So I can already protect my feelings. Like, I know I'm not anywhere close to getting married, right? I don't even know if that day is on the calendar anywhere. But I know when that does come, I know what niggas gonna be late or possibly not show up to the wedding. I know it.
You know who to make the what is it? What is your best man? You know who to make the best man. Like,
I know who would be the best man. I know the friends. I know who I could trust. I know who could play in the bachelor party. Like, I know everything. I know who's not going to buy gifts. Like, I know those things
No,
ahead of
are your
time.
friends still in the same like vicinity, or are y'all truly spaced out?
Most of my friends are. Most of my
so that's
day one friends are in Tennessee. My newer friends that I've met since I wouldn't even say. I have a couple of friends that I've met since I moved to Georgia that were people that I would consider real deal friends. But most of my friends, like the people like what Rich said, they not gonna surprise me. Those people are in Tennessee.
Yeah, and
Are
yeah,
yours still like in the same vicinity?
They're mostly in the city. But everybody got their own separate lives and stuff like that. It's not like I'm missing kick-its. You get what I'm saying? Like, I never feel like I'm left out because everybody trying to do their own thing, and some people got families, some people still single, some people doing other things, right? So it's a little bit disjointed, but I hold a personal relationship with everybody. You know what I mean? So I still try to keep that. And go ahead, Spike.
I was just about to say, I have a totally different experience from Portia in the sense of my adult friendships are more realistic than my adolescent and coming up friendships. Like, because I don't deal with, I don't have any friends that I can't be myself around at this point in my life. And I'm not using, and I'm not even using the term friend loosely. Like, every person that I deal with now, that they know me, I know them. It's not oh, hey, how you do? Like, I don't even consider those people friends. Those are associates that I have, people that I know my face. There's a lot of those people, but people that I consider my friends, we can go 6-7 months without talking. We can just text. They can call me out on my bullshit. I can call them out on this, but I don't have, at this stage in my life as a 42-year-old man, I don't have a fake friendship. Like, there's nobody that I deal like that with that I consider a friend. And that's some people that I like that in my life. Like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, and they cool, but they not my friends. Like,
let me just take that back. Hold on, before somebody listen to this and get offended. I'm not saying fake as in like it's non-existent, but I will say, even just a realistic standpoint, me and my best friend Marissa have been friends since we were in the 4th grade, right? We've done the things. We've had the ups, we've had the downs, whatever. But I will say, because I'm in Dallas and she's in Cincinnati doing her thing, she goes to different events. She's doing like, she doing her thing. Like, she's not just sitting there stagnant, right? But I could tell when we got together, it was like, you're my best friend. I love you to death. We've always been around each other. However, it wasn't like, it was like that growing, I don't want to say growing apart to where we're not best friends. Yeah, it's just like, yo, you've really been away. Like, we really need a catch up, because I'm not an on the phone talker and neither is she. Now, granted, we send each other TikToks and it's always a good time. However, that closeness that we had, the distance, it's very apparent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like fake in that sense. It's just like, yo,
you could tell there's a difference.
Things
change.
Yeah. Things change. Absolutely. I have the
same.
Okay,
I have that. I have that definitely.
I have a very similar situation, and I'm trying not to get too anecdotal. It's like, you know what I mean? But similar situation where it's like there's some shit that happened and it was never discussed. And it's always just been kind of like trying to fill in the blanks as what caused that, what caused this comment, or whatever the case was. Yeah, and that's the difference. Like Spike was saying earlier, that might be a little bit of difference between men and women. Because it's like, man, if it ain't that deep, like if ain't nobody saying, I'm the type of person, I can know that you have a problem with me, but I'm never going to address it because it's not my problem to address. I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to leave it to you. If you never want to talk about it, unless it gets to the point where it's like, yo, what's good? Because I heard, it's rare that I say, I heard this, speak your piece. Because I already think that's a bad footing to have that conversation. Obviously, it's not that deep if you never want to bring it up to me, and I'm not going to make it anything because you can hold on to it. Like, you know what I mean? If that's what it is, we should be cool enough to where, hey, you pissed me off by doing X, Y, and Z. That shit wasn't cool. And I can be like, you know what? I hear you. That's right. Another thing, and that's just a little side tangent, but when you talk about day twos and day ones, now there is a little bit of awkwardness that comes from the day ones with the day twos.
For sure.
Like day ones don't really like to see, and I don't want to generalize it, but it's not uncommon for people who have grown up with people and been friends, best friends, however you want to quote it, for X amount of years, to meet new friends that a person has gotten and already be like, man, I don't fuck with them. Because that's it's almost like a claim. It's like a stake, right? It's like a claim. Like, this is my person. Like, you can't have that. And it's almost like, yo, some weird energy can come from that. And it's like, yo, like, we cool too. Like, we tight. What are you talking about? Like, I can't have other friends.
That is a weird thing.
For sure.
It's a weird thing. But
it's funny because the two seem to know you more.
They know the new you.
They know you now.
The new you. Yeah, the person that you've grown into. And the other person is relying off, this is how we grew up. This used to be us. Like, remember when it's the lowest form of conversation. Like that, you find yourself doing a lot of remember when with the day one friends. And I talked about this before, but I'll say it again because this is how much I love my friend. I had a friend that I ain't talked to for 5 years. Like that, this is my boy going on, one of my best friends. He listens to this show consistently. We didn't start back talking until I started doing this podcast, and he listened to stuff that I was saying on here. And realize, like, and there was no reason, really, as far as I'm concerned, that we stopped talking. There was no conversation that was had in the sense of, hey man, you did this and this is why we fell out of touch or whatever it may be. It was just, we just stopped hitting each other up. And that went on for 5 years. But there was something that was said on here to where he reached out, and now we text probably on a weekly basis and keep in communication. He'll call me if he really got something to vent about. But that's, as you were saying, Portia, the difference between men and women friendships is we never talked about it. It's nothing that needs to be discussed. I still love him like he's my brother. I still take all of his considerations and wait. Like, he texts me today on, like, man, y'all should be doing this. And I listen to the show and what about this? And I run stuff by him. It just picked back up where it left off after 5 years of no communications at all. But that's a benefit and a luxury that we have as men.
Yeah, no.
Because
like I got a homegirl like that. Like, we still talk. I still claim, her kids is my god kids. We talk maybe twice a year because our birthdays is like close to each other. It's like nothing changed, but we were used to that. Like, that's what our friendship, we've always kind of been separated, come back. I think those friends that you used to talk to all the time and then it separates, I think that's when it gets tricky for women. Like, if we already set the standard, we only gonna talk like this, we cool. It's just especially when like, because when I moved to Dallas, I also got a little jaded with friendship and what friendship is too, because as soon as I moved down here, 6 months, we was in COVID. So I was by myself for 2 years. And then we get out of COVID and then we have that blackout for a week without no water or no lights, no internet. So, and then it was like, oh, I see who really checked on me. And it's literally damn near nobody. So, and then to have like friends and you hold that resentment, but you try not to because everybody living their life, but nobody really checked on you and you the strong friend. And then it just, I don't know, friendship.
It's like I said, there's some internal like digging that you have to do as well. Like the wedding situation, right? That's one, if that happened to me, it's one of those like, listen, of course I want you at the wedding. But I want you to go live your life. Because what happened? You're gonna miss.
Like, yeah, let's
think about this.
Promotion.
Like, let's think about this. If you miss out on this promotion, to go to my wedding, that means you are stuck here again. So right after the wedding is one day. You can support my marriage. You can support the marriage. Like, you can be there for me throughout my.
Go to the registry. Buy me a gift with your promotion.
Of course, we want your energy and your spirit there. But I understand it's natural. Like, I want you there. Okay. I get that. But to hold a grudge, because like you said, if I'm at home with my feet up, bullshitting, Spike, That's one thing.
And look, guess what, Rich? I don't even care if that's what happened. Like, that's cool. If that's what you wanted to do, it's fine with me. Like,
yeah.
But I'm never gonna blame an adult for life. Like when life, like I'm never gonna blame an adult for that. Like I'm enough of an adult to know.
Yeah,
like
I'm not
happens,
missing the bag for your wedding.
Yeah, I'm not taking that personal. That's not. I'm not offended by that. So yeah, that's
so gotta
insane.
There's got to be friendship goes both ways. You can't always be expecting the other person. It could also be, hey, I'm gonna give grace to that person as well. I'm gonna give grace to my friends. Like you have to live your life, and I think that's part of it too. So, like I said, the finished product, right? The day twos, they get the finished product. They get all the work. I'll never forget there was a moment in Insecure when it was a Thanksgiving episode, and Issa was talking to her brother about the whole Lawrence situation. Lawrence and condolence. She was like, and she said, it feels like she's getting the reward for all the work that I put in, right? And that can kind of be the same thing, right? You know somebody for all these years and you have a bond, but as naturally as humans, we grow. All right, we have different things. Like you see it all the time. People talk about, and it ain't got to be beef. And I think there's something you said earlier, Portia, where sometimes those relationships do become, we speak twice a year, and that's got to be cool. That's got to be cool. You have to understand and recognize that that's just what this is. We had a great run. Yeah, we had a great run. We don't speak as much. It ain't no issue. It ain't no beef. This is just kind of what it is. I never forget when people were shocked. Big Boy from Outkast, his son, he played football for Oregon. I remember the internet was shocked that Andre 3000 was in the press suite with them watching the game. Like, oh, I thought that nigga, you ain't gotta have issues because y'all don't work or talk or see each other every day. Yeah. Most recently, right? Redman was on an interview talking about I'm not really friends with rappers.
That hurt
me and Method Man will work, we'll do this, we go on tours and stuff, but once we finish, we kind of go our own way. He got his life, I got my life. And you know what? That's cool. We know they tight, and I'm sure their relationship is cool, but it's not the same as it was where we're 20-something and we just about to rip and run these streets. Nigga, we got responsibilities, we got things to do. I might not have the space to actually kick it like we did, and we shouldn't be doing that. We should be able to take trips and have a catch up and have a moment. But I'm not about to hit you up on some like, let's tear the city up tonight. Nigga, get the fuck off my phone. Like, we got other things we can't do.
You called the wrong number, nigga.
Yeah, so, but, you know,
called the wrong number.
The point of even bringing that stuff up is it's funny how people react to it when nobody ever said there was an issue. I never said I beef with this nigga. Like, Redman never said, like, fuck Method Man. He just said it's different. It's just different now. And for us, that sucks, right? This is one thing that's important, too. Having lifelong friends is a badge of honor. Not a lot of people have that. So we treat those a little bit more sacred because we know how rare it is. So you're willing to hold on to those 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade friendships, even though you knew you probably split. I don't want to say split, but you just had different type of goals in life. You different paths. Everybody can be doing well. But hey, my path brought me this way. Your path took you this way. When we link, it's all love. We're going to dap. We're going to talk. We're going to do our shit. But the actual day-to-day, the actual talking, the actual seeing each other all the time, that just goes away. And we have to learn to accept that. And there are going to be a couple people, like I said, 2, 3 maybe, that you talk to on a regular basis, that you check in, the ones that you go on trips on, you know, with or whatever the case is. And that's just life. I think we definitely need to stop acting like the lack of frequency, no pun intended, means that there's an issue or a beef. Because sometimes people just go in different lanes, and it's still all love. And it's distance.
That was well put, Rich. And it's how you carry it too. Like, just to what you were saying as far as the Method Man shit, like the friend that I spoke of that I didn't speak to for years, niggas would ask me messy, like, oh, you ain't talk to such and such, man. Like, when the last time you talked to such and such? Crying, like trying to figure out, like, hey, wait, why I know y'all really not cool as y'all were before. Like, what's going on? There's not one nigga that could say I said something bad about him. Like, it wasn't when whatever nigga asked me about him, it wasn't like, oh man, that nigga this, that, and the third. Like, that never happened. I was like, I just haven't talked to him. And then they would go into like they problems with him or whatever it may be. But like, I was like, yeah, I ain't had that experience, but I just ain't talked to him. Like what you said with Method Man and Redman. It's like I'm never speaking bad on my friends to other friends just to make conversation. That's one of my pet peeves. I'm never doing that.
That White Lotus
that's
shit,
one of the reasons. Exactly.
The girls in White Lotus this season.
Right.
Like, every single time one go to the room, the other two talking behind their back. Like,
talking behind the back. And I think that's one of the reasons we were able to connect back, Rich, because like I knew he never heard nobody ever was able to come to him like, man, you know what Lou said about you? Like that never happened. And that's why we able to be so cool now. So that's a good point that you brought up with Raven.
Yeah, it's life. It just happens, man. I think we all need to be. And I mean, Portia, I'll put the ball in your court to kind of wrap things up. But if there's an issue, man, address it. If you feel like there's an issue, really address it. Or once again, to quote Insecure, there was a season when Molly was at a therapist, and her therapist asked her simply, "Does this relationship still serve you?" And that is a fair question. And sometimes it is, like I said, we want to wear these certain relationships and these titles and these friendships like a badge of honor. And I get it, but sometimes it's just as simple as, you know what? It doesn't serve me any longer to have it in this capacity. I'm not just saying don't have it at all, but this capacity, it's not the same. It ain't gonna hit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta grow with it, man. That's why niggas want my old shit. Buy my old albums, man. I'm not that same nigga no more. Whole quote for everything. I'm not that same person.
Yeah, there's a whole quote for everything.
It would be detrimental to me to go backwards and try to rap like this when I don't live this life anymore. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You will look at me and say I'm crazy, nigga. That ain't you. Like, be yourself. And that's how friendships are too. And that's how I view it. So, Portia, you got anything else?
You actually wrapped that shit up pretty good.
Yeah, you did. That's what Rich do.
Adulting is hard. Friendships is hard. Communication is everything.
Adulting friendship is hard. Exactly.
Communication is everything. Communication, you hit the nail on the head with that. Communication is everything, man. There's an issue, man. Speak to me. I feel like we're not,
unless you want to sleep with another woman.
I was just about to say, I feel like we not cool if you can't come up. Yeah, tell me.
As adults, you should be able to talk to me, and I'm not going to take offense to it. Like whatever. Like,
what am I about to swing on you?
I know how to communicate. Right. A lot of adults don't rely on their communication skills enough. Like, bro, like,
a lot of us don't know how to. Honestly,
that is true.
The more you talk to people, the more you realize everybody get past that.
It is crazy the amount of people that you come across that just do not know how to communicate, and you got to ask them questions. Ask someone who knows how to communicate. Be like, oh, that's what you were trying to say, nigga. Why you just didn't say that?
Yep.
So,
shout out to my brother Ralph, man. Say what you mean the first time.
Period.
And no point of dancing around the bush. So it's been dope as always, man. Hopefully everybody out there enjoyed First Fridays with Portia Renee. This is going to be happening every single month, every first Friday. Not to say she's only going to be on the first Friday. Could be some other episodes where we really need Portia's opinion, because I do enjoy chopping it up with you.
Facts.
And it was good seeing you. I sent you a text after a couple days, and I was like, you know what? It was just good to see you. It was good to kick it, talk some shit, just had some fun, man. It had been a long time since I've been in the presence with Portia, and you value good people and stuff like that, man. So we're excited to have you just be a part of this another week in the books conversation. Obviously, make sure y'all check out the Frequency Podcast hosted by Portia Renee. Make sure you follow that feed. I'll make sure we put a link in the description. And until then, we're going to see y'all for chapter 25. We out. Let's get better this week.
Peace.